Hey everyone, this is Clinton,
And this is Dalton.
and this is the LA Do Wrestling Podcast.
So without further ado, let's get ready to podcast!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the LA Do Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about all wrestling from the past, present, and future. I am one of your co-hosts, Clinton. With me as always as Dalton. We are back earlier than expected, actually. I mean, other than the episode we did last with the Double or Nothing, I mean, the last episode before that was almost a year before. Maybe already a year after.
Yeah, well, life happens.
Well, yeah, of course. But we are back. We are here with another predictions video. The one for WrestleMania did pretty well. I think a lot of people liked it. I got some feedback saying it was pretty good. So we figured that we would do them for the more major pay-per-views in WWE, including like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series,
Mostly
SummerSlam.
the big four, but then sprinkle some
Well,
other ones.
the Money in the Bank, which is the one we're talking about today, I mean, that's still it's a fun one to watch
Well,
for the most part. There's been a couple years where it's kind of been whack, but for the most part, it is a more fun pay-per-view compared to some of the others. So it's more of like the big five.
no.
You disagree?
People always say, oh, add this, add that, or take away this, take away that. It's already been established for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Don't change it.
Well, I mean, I always loved the idea that the Money in the Bank was always a part of WrestleMania. Just for a couple years, it was pretty cool. But then they added in the women's Money in the Bank, and that'd be hard to do for adding it into WrestleMania. So
Well, if they keep the night one, night two, not as much.
not as much. That is true. But
So you could totally do that.
when they did the one night, it made it a little bit more difficult.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying.
That is a good idea with the fact that there is 2 nights for WrestleMania.
If they continue that.
Yeah. I think they will.
Won't be
It seems
bad.
like they're doing pretty successful with that, other than more of like the stadium attendance.
Well, sometimes
But
I just can't stand some of the. Oh, excuse me. Sometimes I can't stand some of the Saturday pay-per-views.
right, yeah.
It's more convenient for some people, and I agree. But when you got to work on a Saturday and you miss half the pay-per-view,
right, yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun and it's more convenient for many, but for some it's not as convenient.
Sucks for me. I mean,
Yeah.
the last couple times, I think it's mostly been. I swear it was maybe SummerSlam last year.
Maybe something like that.
I try to take off for Saturday pay-per-views since they've started, but no, it was WrestleMania 36 that I missed a little bit of. That's what it was.
Right. Yes, I do recall that, yeah.
It just sucks. But it is good for the most part. So I can't complain too much, I guess.
Yeah. But we are here to talk about our predictions for Money in the Bank 2022. But there are about 6 matches on the card, I think. I think 3 of them are the male matches, 3 of them are the female matches. So a good half.
It is. It's a weird one to go around. Then again, it's only 6 matches.
A lot less matches than usual for a wrestling pay-per-view.
Less, to be honest. That just means I can get over with.
Right.
Or if the matches that deserve to go on longer can go on longer. I really don't care.
Right.
The AEW shows or the past WWE shows, so it's not as bad, I guess.
See, like,
So
I like the fact that the AEW pay-per-views are a little bit longer, but I also dislike it because some of the matches only get like 5 minutes.
Not the last 2 that have happened.
Forbidden Door wasn't half bad, but I feel like some of the matches could have been longer.
No, I'm saying that it was just the event went on too long.
Okay. Well, we all know why Double or Nothing went on, but we covered that. We're past the Double or Nothing.
I'm not past it.
Well, I am past it, and now I'm moving on to Money in the Bank. So we have 6 matches. Let's go ahead and get into the first match we're going to talk about.
The first match is the women's Money in the Bank match. More than likely, the women's always goes first, except for the first women's, I think. Even then, I think that one might have been first. But it is the women's Money in the Bank match. Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, formerly Gonzalez, Asuka, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch. Glenn, I'm going to ask you first. So we'll alternate. Who do you have for this match?
Well, before I give my answer, I want to make something clear really quick. I wrote my answers down in advance, and so did Dalton, so we're not stealing off of each other's to try to, equal out predictions. But my answer for this one, I think Raquel Rodriguez is going to win it.
What the hell?
Now, I want Liv Morgan to win.
We all want Liv to win.
Because she needs a belt, and she hasn't had one.
Well, to be fair, she should have won... I think she should have won a Royal Rumble.
Correct,
Or she could have won the Royal Rumble and not even had the title match at Royal Rumble. I feel like she deserves the title more than most people on the roster right now, but, it doesn't matter what people want. They don't care. They'll probably give a title to Bayley when she comes back. It should be
maybe
soon. Well, apparently she's expected soon. But Raquel, I feel like it's too early for that, especially for being Money in the Bank.
Well, she got pushed in NXT. She won the NXT Women's Championship. It went over
that was really soon too.
Yeah, but it still went over better than it could have. It could have just been like way too quick, and then her just not be able to have any momentum whatsoever.
I feel like there was no momentum going into it.
I thought it was fine. I mean, but it's a...
I'm not saying it wasn't fine. I'm just saying I think it was too soon, and it didn't really have any...
I think Dakota Kai should have won it before, and then maybe Raquel Gonzalez at the time could have beat Dakota Kai for the belt, but...
See, that's the problem, because she's the lackey. She's the security. She randomly gets a title match, and she wins the title only for Dakota Kai to turn on her. It didn't make sense to me.
Right.
That was the one thing I didn't like.
But I do think the big reason I think she will win it is because Liv Morgan, I want to win it, but I don't think she will. Alexa Bliss has already won the Money in the Bank before. Lacey Evans, her character is not where it needs to be right now. It's kind of weird. It's not what it used to be. Becky Lynch doesn't need... She's had enough. She's had a lot. She needs to take a break for winning big matches. That's me, at least. What?
No, I completely disagree, but continue.
I mean, I love Becky Lynch. I think her work's great, but I just think she's had the belts, and she's won a lot over the last couple of years. Maybe give it to someone else. And then, who else is in it? I'm sorry, I blinked. Shotzi, they're not going to push her. Shotzi Blackheart is one of my favorite wrestlers, and they're not going to push her. Asuka won it 2 years ago. So I just think Raquel Rodriguez, they keep changing the names. Raquel Rodriguez, I think she's going to win it.
I completely disagree.
And that's fine, but I'm just saying, like, that's really who I think will win.
Because Becky's going to win.
Really?
Yeah. There's a reason that Becky's going to win.
Okay.
She has lost every single big match she's had so far. Bianca has beat her multiple times. She got cheated out of the triple threat match storyline wise. That's the way they built it. She got cheated out of the belt because Bianca stole a pin from her when she had it. He's lost continuously. She lost her first qualifying match. And what was it, a battle royal or something not too long ago? Like a 6-pack, something maybe?
It was something, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was more of just like a 6-women match or something for the main event, and then men's was a battle royal for the last place.
Gotcha.
One of the last spots. She won that finally. The only two people that I can see winning this match, I mean, Bliss, yes, she could, but I don't think they need to build her up a little bit more with her character right now. The only two people are Liv and Becky's the only one that I can see winning. She hasn't won this one women's match when the rest of a lot of the major women have. She won a Royal Rumble. She was the first woman to main event, one of the first women to main event a WrestleMania. I don't know if she ever competed in a Elimination Chamber, but she competed in a Hell in a Cell, I believe.
Yes.
This is one of the major things that, as a woman superstar, she has not accomplished yet. And I think they're going to go ahead and give it to her now, especially since she's already had her kid and everything.
But I do think that she has enough time to win it. She still has many more years in her career.
Well, with her having a kid, you never know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not
She
going to
might
get into
wind
the.
it down.
I'm not going to get into the personal life just because
No,
Who knows? Maybe she's going to say this is what I need to do for the personal life is to continue to wrestle.
Well, here's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
And when you said take a break, I was like, she already took a break. She took 2 breaks technically because one she had a kid, but then again she was also spending time after.
Well,
she
not
lost.
necessarily. She needs to take a break, but
You meant from I know the matches and stuff, like big matches, big wins, title, whatever.
There needs to someone else needs to hold the belts. Is pretty much what I was saying. Because as of the last,
well, that's the thing.
3
she could
years
hold it for literally a year, and then hold it.
Correct. I mean, but over the last 3 years, who's had the women's championships? It's been Charlotte and Becky Lynch.
4 horsewomen.
Yes, I mean, yeah, Bailey and Sasha did win the
Ronda
belts.
in there for a
and
hot
Ronda,
spell.
yes, but I mean, some of the 2 big ones have been Becky and Charlotte.
Yeah, but that's also just because they were building up. That should have been WrestleMania, to be honest. I don't think they've had a proper singles match. Even Survivor Series wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good because there was actual personal problems.
Well, they put aside that. But
yeah, but not enough to have a great match. But
regardless, Becky Lynch, and there's a reason I say Becky, and we'll get to it in the final thing we say. There's a reason I say Becky for this. And we'll get, like I said, we'll get to it. But she, in my eyes, is the only legit person that can win it. Liv maybe, but then again, they're not going to push Liv.
I think that it's a good answer. I don't think it will happen, but I do. It's a good answer. There's not
I can see it happening more than
there's
Raquel
not
Rodriguez.
There's not a single person in this match other than Chauncey, sadly, that I can say absolutely not. They're not going to win this match.
Speaking of absolutely not going to win this match, now we don't know the actual show card of what's going to go first.
Right.
I said the women's Money in the Bank is always going to go first, probably, but this next match, no chance in hell, no pun taken for Vince. Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, versus Carmella for the Women's Championship. There is no way in hell Carmella is winning this.
I think we're gonna go ahead and just tell you who.
Oh yeah,
it's Bianca Belair.
No, she's retaining.
Well, this match was definitely thrown together last minute. That's the first thing.
It had to be.
It had to be because Rhea Ripley got injured. Hopefully, she'll be back by SummerSlam.
Oh, she should be. Well, it was the way it was. If you haven't seen it, because WWE has tried their damnedest to take it off the internet.
It's brutal.
Well, I mean, after the fact, yeah, but what happens? Not really. She went for a DDT. She was taking a DDT from Liv and Alexa Bliss. When she hit it, she was too close to the ropes, so when her leg landed, her leg hit the rope, it bounced up, and she accidentally kneed herself. She caused damage to her teeth. She's wearing temporary braces right now to help keep them in place. And kind of like a Cesaro situation almost, but not as severe.
Right.
What is severe is apparently they said it was a brain injury. A lot of people have said it's just a concussion probably, and they just haven't said it. And more than likely, she'll be penciled in for SummerSlam. And
right.
I think Rhea has a good chance of winning at SummerSlam. I think she was supposed to win here. Or something would have happened, you know what I mean?
Right.
Either she won, or maybe if they had the idea, maybe Liv wins the Money in the Bank and she cashes in on Rhea after she won, setting up for a triple threat at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Potentially. I definitely think Rhea was going to win here and give Bianca some time off. But if they do have it at SummerSlam and do have Rhea win, people are going to complain that 2 years in a row Bianca Belair has lost at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And technically, a year ago, this match was supposed to happen for the SmackDown Women's at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
After Sasha was pulled for whatever. I don't even know if there was a reason given.
I don't remember the reason. I think I read it, but I don't know. But regardless, definitely want Rhea Ripley to come back as soon as possible, as long as everything's good. But because this match was so thrown together, this is the match that's going to. There's no surprise who's going to win this match.
And I will add, the only reason that Carmella won this match, I think, one, the Raw roster, there was not a lot of women left because all of them were in the Money in the Bank. Other than that, you had Nikki Ash and Doudrop. All respect to them, they weren't getting that match. The only reason she is having this match in the first place is because she didn't complain online about her spot on the card. Because she was in a tag team. Really, women's tag teams are done now. So they threw her this. They threw her a bone. As horrible as to say, they pretty much just threw her a bone.
Well, regardless, she's not winning. Bianca Belair is definitely winning this match.
Speaking of definitely winning this match, I'm just going to go ahead and say the SmackDown Women's. Since we're in
there's a couple matches on this card that is like, it is no doubt who's going to win this.
Well, it's because storyline they have to win this.
Yeah, I agree.
The SmackDown Women's Championship, the champion Ronda Rousey versus Natalya, a match that, from what I've seen online, nobody wants to see, nobody cares about, and it's not even because of the two. Well, one of the women it's because of, but people are not a fan of Ronda Rousey right now, and I don't disagree. I mean, stuff I've seen, she's just not in it. Her as a face does not work.
Right. I did like her more as a heel.
Well, she never really portrayed a heel.
Kind of, but not full-fledged heel.
For the fans, yes. To her, no.
Right.
And that's the problem. She doesn't like the fans. So, she should be a heel.
Right.
But anyway.
Well,
a lot of people also don't want to see Natalya. They keep seeing Natalya. It's like she doesn't deserve it. A lot of people are saying that. I think it's kind of harsh. She has been a bit everywhere, the last couple of years, in and out of title pictures. But
one problem I have is that a couple years ago, I'm blanking what year it was, 2017. Natalya won the SmackDown Women's title from Naomi. I think it was 2017 because Naomi won it at WrestleMania 33.
That was the second time she won it.
It was really good to see Natalya with the belt, but man, did that reign not really work. I don't know what it was, but it's something.
It's because of her character, I think.
Maybe,
the storyline going in. Whoever she dropped it to.
But that, I think she dropped it to Charlotte.
She might have.
But that character was better than what she's doing now, because right now she's just playing hot potato with, am I tag team partners with Shayna Baszler or am I not? That's pretty much where we're at with that.
They're not playing hot potato, really.
Well, they kind of stopped for a second and then they got back
tag
together.
Team partners. Like, Shayna Baszler has already... She's been telling Ronda, you're my best friend, but she's my tag partner, so...
Yeah, the person they randomly threw you with.
But definitely...
Both great wrestlers don't work as a tag team.
Getting back on topic, it's definitely Ronda. There's no way Natalya's winning.
Right.
I will say, from Cultaholic... if you're a wrestling fan, you more than likely on YouTube have seen Cultaholic. But Tom Campbell from Cultaholic, he brought up an idea that didn't really influence this because everyone knew Ronda was winning. He said that what if Shayna comes out, acts like she's going to help Natalya, turns on Natalya and helps Ronda, potentially effectively doing a double turn, having Ronda be the heel and Natalya turn face. With Natalya making fun of Ronda being a mom, I don't know if that's going to work or if that'll happen. But potentially that could happen. You could see Shayna, and they already hinted at it, saying, oh, you're my best friend, but I'm her tag partner. So, I mean, it could happen.
Right. But I do...
Or just have her turn on Ronda or something.
I do want to make a quick tangent. And that is the fact that Dalton was talking about how no one really cares about this match.
I don't.
And that's kind of where I want to get at. The SmackDown Women's Championship has become a very underwhelming championship. And at one point it wasn't.
That still was. It wasn't...
I enjoyed some of the stuff.
Well, the reason I say that, WWE doesn't care about it because they only care about the Raw. The Raw is the women's championship to them.
I just think...
it's the flagship show, don't care about the B show, whatever.
Well...
that's why you don't see it.
I just think that when Becky and Charlotte swapped the belts back in October, I think it was before Survivor Series, it didn't matter anymore. Like, they just stopped caring about it. And I don't know if it's because of Charlotte.
If you swap the fucking belts,
it
doesn't matter.
And
swapping the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles didn't matter.
And the belt swap, it couldn't have went worse because of personal issues.
Because of Charlotte,
and it looked and it was so bad, and it didn't work. And I honestly think it made the belt useless for a bit, and we're still kind of in the useless time. I don't know how to really describe it, but that's something that bothers me is that there was a point in time where the SmackDown Women's division I thought was a little bit stronger than the Raw, and now it's just not there. But again, if it's going to be Natalya and Ronda Rousey, I mean, it really isn't getting stronger. So
speaking of isn't getting stronger, United States title,
right?
Absolute dog shit match, dog water. This match does not matter. It's Austin Theory, the United States champion, defending his title against Bobby Lashley.
Which it sucks because I like both of these wrestlers.
I mean, you'd think Bobby would win, but I say Austin Theory. There's no way Austin Theory's dropping it to Bobby Lashley unless Cena comes out and distracts him or something. Because they're obviously going to set up for Cena, in theory, potentially at SummerSlam. I'd say at SummerSlam, that's how you're going to sell tickets.
Right.
But if it's not SummerSlam, it's somewhere. Unless you have Cena versus Theory for the title and Theory somehow wins for the title. I say Theory unless somehow they say, you know what, we're going to drop the title here and have it because of Cena.
Well, I also think it's going to be Theory that is going to win this match. I think that they are going to build up for the Cena Theory. I'm going to call him Austin Theory because the shortened name is not doing it for me.
I don't say Theory.
Austin Theory, I think he's going to win because I think they are going to build up Austin Theory versus John Cena. I don't know if it's going to be SummerSlam. It makes sense because, like Dalton said, it'll sell tickets to have Cena on the card in general. Cena and Brock and Roman Reigns. Oh my!
Nobody cares about Roman.
I'm just saying he doesn't show up that much anymore.
Fanboys care about Roman. I mean, come on.
I'm not going to disagree on that one. But anyway, so if you have John Cena on that card, of course people are going to watch it. Now, do I think that Austin Theory will beat John Cena if he comes to SummerSlam? Honestly, don't know. They're trying to build him up, but it'd be cool to see Cena win the belt and then maybe Theory win it off of him. I don't know. It would be good to have Theory put over, or Cena to put over Theory, but I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they'll try to throw him one more championship before he retires. I don't know, but I do know Theory is going to win this match.
Well, I mean, Cena also said that he's not having one more; he's having a few more. So it just depends on what it is.
Right. So, well, fewer matches, but maybe not more championships.
Another segue into more matches for championships. The match that honestly has just happened so many times: the Street Profits going against the Usos, the champs, for the undisputed. Or is it unified?
Undisputed, I think it's unified undisputed tag team championships of the world. That might be what Paul Heyman calls them. I don't know.
It's just the undisputed WWE tag team championship.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'm not going off of the Walrus. A lot of people have said that there's going to be a title change.
I don't see it. People. I don't see it happening, and I hate that 3 matches in a row we have agreed, but I don't see it happening.
It's been more than that.
I think it's only been 3 so far.
No.
Okay, 4 maybe. Oh, 4. Yeah, 4. Sorry. But we're not going to have the same one for the men's Money in the Bank. I'm going to get that out right now.
I'm just going to say, people have made it, clear, or not clear. People brought up, it's like, maybe the Street Profits could win and set up that, shred of doubt for Roman, especially going towards SummerSlam. It's like, can he beat Brock if, Usos lost, can he lose too?
It's smart. That is a smart way of thinking.
But it's not going to happen.
But
it's WWE.
There's 2 things to that. Number 1, do you really think the creative writers are that smart?
No.
And number 2, if someone's going to do it, it's not going to be the Street Profits. And I like the Street Profits. I'm not saying I don't. But they're not the people to do it. I think the Viking Raiders are the ones who should do it.
Yeah.
But
the only problem with tag teams right now, there's not a lot of credible tag teams other than maybe Street Profits, New Day, Usos, and Viking Raiders.
Well, when you run off the Revival,
it's not that. It's not the Revival. It's just
they were the best tag team they had, though.
Arguable, but no, they have other tag teams. It's just they're not using them. You have Alpha Academy, which they don't use properly. I don't even think they've really... they have been on TV lately, but I feel like it's just Otis for the most part, because he went against Lashley.
Yeah.
Other than that, do you really have any tag teams?
Well, they got rid of T-Bar and Mace. That was a while ago. But
Ali and Mansoor.
That was another tag team they had. Ali and Mansoor they got rid
that was
of.
a while ago.
New Day, they're still doing their thing without. They're still doing their thing without Big E. But they're not really doing much. I mean, right now they're feuding with the Viking Raiders, but I mean that's a one-sided feud.
I mean, I guess you have the Judgment Day with Finn Balor and Damian Priest, but that's about it.
Straight to main event.
They're not really doing tag team stuff, so RK Bros out indefinitely, probably never coming back together. So
that's a shame.
But it was either going to end with Orton turning or just Orton getting hurt. So honestly, this is the best thing for it. Another segue. Speaking of RK Bro, but we both say Usos, definitely.
Yes.
On to the last match, which is undoubtedly going to be the main event. I don't see any other match on this card being worthy of a main event, unless somehow they put the Raw Women's as a main event and do a cash-in. Is the men's Money to Bank ladder match, which is Seth frickin' Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Omos, Sami Zayn, Riddle, and who was just added on Friday Night SmackDown in the main event, Madcap Moss. Glenn, I am desperate to know who you think is going to win, because I know this is the person you were debating on and saying you don't want to pick him, but you feel like it's going to be him.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
So let's make it very clear.
You're wrong. I'm already saying it.
Let's make it very clear. It is very smart.
No.
To have Seth Rollins win this match. That is my opinion. Could be wrong. Could be a cash-in later on down the line for Cody when he wins the belt, because he's going to win the belt. To me, that's the smart decision.
Well, no one's asking for the smart decision.
But,
they're asking your decision.
But WWE's not smart. So who do I think they are going to pick? I think they're going to pull a Great Khali on this, and they're going to have Omos win this one.
I swear to God, I'm going to punch you in the throat.
That's a little violent for this podcast.
I'm going to punch you in the throat.
I think Omos is going to win it.
This is the person that would probably like to cover GCW. I don't want to hear it.
Maybe one day.
No. Omos, really?
I think Omos might win it. They might try to push him. I don't know how Vince sees him, you know?
I
hate to get it.
Guy that really, honestly, just lost. He lost the Bobby Lashley feud, if you look at it. I don't care if they won the last... No, they didn't even win the last match. Or did they?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Well, no, he won the last match, but... Or did he?
I think Lashley won... No, it was at Hell in a Cell. It was not in it.
Oh, yeah, it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, Lashley won.
Lashley did win, yeah.
The feud. Lashley's not even in the Money in the Bank, but he's in the U.S. title. We're just going to throw Omos in there. There's no way Omos is going to win this.
Well, honestly,
I wish you would have said Riddle over Omos. Even Madcap.
Okay, I did think maybe Riddle, but I think they're going to give it to a heel. That's my only thing, is I think they're going to give it a heel, because I don't think anyone's going to cash... I don't think anyone's going to cash in on Roman. I think whoever will beat Roman, whether that's Drew, whether that's Cody Rhodes, doesn't matter. Whoever's going to beat Roman is going to cash in. That's who they're going to cash in on. And I think it's Omos. Omos is going to cash in on someone.
And that's where I disagree. Because there's one person in this match, the one person that is... He has to win, because that's the only way that I can see that they're going to set up for an upcoming pay-per-view.
Let me hear it.
Drew McIntyre is going to win the Money in the Bank because he's going to do what RVD and what John Cena did in their storyline for the Money in the Bank. They're going to pre-call out them and say, I'm cashing in, but as a man, I guess, as they would have said, because, sneak attack or whatever. The more manly, the more respectful thing to do, I guess. Bunch of bullshit. It's wrestling. It's a Money in the Bank. I mean, you just do what you gotta do. He's gonna challenge Roman at Clash at the Castle, and that's gonna be the cash in. Because, one, that's why I say Becky's gonna win. either you have Becky win or you have Seth win. They're not going to do both. Especially if one of them might take time off soon. Because, I mean, you don't want to always be on the road with a child. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to maybe not have them have the stress. Because a lot of moving around puts stress on anybody, let alone a little baby. Either you have one of them win it, their respective Money in the Banks. That's why I say Becky's going to win. Seth is more likely to win maybe the Royal Rumble than Money in the Bank and go on to WrestleMania. Or even just, screw around, try to get into WrestleMania with Cody. Honestly, Seth's my second pick for this, but Drew has to win this, in my opinion. He's the only person that I can see cashing in on Roman in a non-traditional cash-in and win. If someone tries to do a traditional cash-in on Roman, they'll lose. But being Drew, if they do the babyface route, he won't cash in traditionally. He'll do the one way. That sets up your main event at Clash of the Castle where Drew wins. I think that has to happen. And it'll set up for whoever wins Royal Rumble, Cody maybe coming back, whatever.
It's a good idea, but I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen because I'm not that just my opinion's right, my thought is right. Because it could. But I don't know. I don't think it will. But I could be completely wrong.
It's the only sensible thing that happens. I don't see putting Money in the Bank on a heel when you have a heel that's champ that's not even around. I don't see you putting it on someone that is barely an up-and-comer like Madcap Moss, who really doesn't have a likable story or character. It doesn't work. Riddle, really, technically he's not allowed to go against Roman, so I don't really see him cashing in unless somebody beats him. Seth, like I said, it's either him or Becky. And honestly, if Seth wins it, they'll just probably do a thing at WrestleMania. Cody wins the Rumble. He cashes in the money or in the middle of the match. Who else is even in it? Sheamus, come on. They're not giving Sheamus. Honestly, Sheamus is probably the dark horse of this match. He's the least likely person that's going to win it. They just threw him in because of Drew. Then again, he could cost Drew. I don't know. That could be a thing. He costs Drew, and it's Seth that wins. But Drew, I feel, is the only person that can win this match, realistically.
Well, I'm pretty locked in on mine. I know I am definitely in the minority on the thinking Omos is going to win, but I don't know, man. I think history repeats itself, and I think the Giant's going to win another belt.
But Giant never won the Money in the Bank.
Giant's never won the Money in the Bank, but there's always room for a first. And
it's not for that Giant.
I just think, and honestly, I think maybe the women's Money in the Bank is going to be the main event.
God, I hope not. Just because, not any
I'm
reason
okay with
other
it.
than I don't
I'm
think
okay
it'll
with
deliver. A women's Money in the Bank can main event, depending on the women. This match, some of the combatants, contestants, whatever you want to call them, they're so mixed matched. Their styles don't match. There's no way that it would end well. You would need women that know ladders or have been in enough ladder matches that can do it.
Yeah, but I also don't think that the men's is anything special. I don't think that these are a bunch of guys who are just specialty ladder match guys. Now, not all Money in the Banks have all of them, but I'm just saying that this one's it's a lot of big guys. I don't know, it just seems a little weird for a ladder match.
That's because they ran out of people.
I honestly think the women's might be a little bit more exciting, but that's just me. But
either way, you're losing. You're most definitely going to lose. It comes down to two matches. Either we tie and I retain, I think. Honestly, I lost count after the last pay-per-view. I might have lost. I don't remember.
You won. You won.
We'll just say that I am currently the pay-per-view champion. This is for the pay-per-view championship that we fight for, hypothetically. Either way, on Saturday, you're going down when this comes out. By the time this comes out, it will prove either by 1 point, 2 points, or just a tie. I will still be going into SummerSlam the podcast pay-per-view champion.
I respect your confidence.
I am very confident in most of these. Mostly because 4 of them are easy. It's just 2. It takes a bit of thinking just because you got to think, all right, what are they going to do? What is their mindset? You got to try to think like them, which is a scary, scary thing.
Right. Well, I think we got all of our thoughts about Money in the Bank out of the way. We got all our predictions ready. Money in the Bank will be on Saturday, July 2nd. Hopefully by the time this comes out, it will be pretty much right at that time. Yeah. So, but other than that, I think that will conclude this episode. Hopefully we can come back with SummerSlam predictions and maybe even an AEW podcast. We're not sure yet, but we'll try to get to it. But other than that, this concludes this episode of the LA Do Wrestling Podcast. You can follow me, Clinton, on Instagram at ClintonWells2001.
You can follow me on Instagram at LADoBrand.
You can follow our music engineer, Chance, at chance.cummings.507 on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at LADo_wrestling podcast. You can follow the regular podcast at LADo_podcast. And other than that, we will talk to you later.